Most of us rarely think about breathing. It happens quietly, automatically, every minute of every day, every hour of every night, without effort, without thought, without attention, until one day, something changes. Perhaps climbing the stairs feels harder. Perhaps a short walk leaves you unexpectedly winded. Perhaps a cough lingers longer than it should. And because these changes often happen gradually, many seniors assume they're simply part of getting older. But sometimes, breathing changes are not simply signs of aging. Sometimes they are warnings. Warnings that your lungs, your heart, or even your entire body may need attention. Today, we're exploring 10 breathing warning signs seniors should never ignore. Not to create fear, but to help you recognize what your body may be trying to tell you. Because sometimes, the difference between early treatment and delayed treatment begins with recognizing a symptom that seems small. And some of these warning signs appear long before a major health event occurs. Let's begin with one of the most common warning signs: shortness of breath. Now, becoming winded after intense activity is normal. But becoming breathless while performing ordinary tasks is different. Walking across a room, making the bed, getting dressed, climbing a few stairs. These activities should not suddenly leave you struggling for air. Persistent shortness of breath can sometimes be associated with heart disease, lung disease, anemia, or other medical conditions. And because it often develops gradually, many people adapt without realizing how much their breathing has changed. Some people notice breathing becomes harder at night, especially while lying flat. They find themselves stacking pillows, sleeping upright, or waking up feeling unable to get enough air. This symptom deserves attention because it can sometimes signal issues involving the heart or lungs. Your body should not require a special position simply to breathe comfortably. A cough that lingers for weeks should never be ignored, especially when there is no obvious explanation. Many things can cause chronic coughing: allergies, medication side effects, lung conditions, infections, heart-related issues. The important point is this: a persistent cough is information, and information deserves investigation. Wheezing is the high-pitched sound that sometimes occurs when air moves through narrowed airways. Some people hear it, others don't. It may sound like whistling, squeaking, or subtle musical tones while breathing. Wheezing is never something to simply dismiss. It often indicates that airflow is being restricted, and identifying why that restriction exists is important. Chest tightness can feel different for different people. Pressure, constriction, heaviness, or a feeling that breathing requires more effort than usual. Because chest symptoms can involve both heart and lung conditions, they deserve prompt medical attention, especially if they appear suddenly. If respiratory infections seem to happen repeatedly, your body may be signaling something important. Frequent infections can sometimes indicate underlying conditions affecting the lungs, the immune system, or overall health. The question isn't simply, why am I getting sick? The question is, why does it keep happening? This warning sign deserves special attention. A bluish or gray tint around the lips or fingertips may indicate that oxygen levels are not where they should be. This symptom should never be ignored, because oxygen is essential for every organ in the body. When oxygen delivery is compromised, the body often sends visible signals. Breathing difficulties and swelling sometimes appear together. This combination may indicate issues involving circulation or heart function. Many people assume swollen ankles are simply part of aging. But when swelling occurs alongside breathing changes, it deserves evaluation. Breathing and energy are deeply connected. When oxygen delivery becomes less efficient, fatigue often follows. Some people describe it as having no energy, feeling drained, or becoming exhausted unusually quickly. The body works harder, and you feel the difference. Perhaps the most important warning sign of all is sudden change, a symptom that appears quickly, unexpectedly, without explanation. Because abrupt breathing changes can sometimes signal urgent medical conditions. Any sudden difficulty breathing deserves prompt medical attention. Do not wait. Do not assume. Do not guess. seek help immediately. Every breath matters. Every moment. Every day. Breathing is one of the body's most remarkable gifts. And because it happens automatically, it's easy to overlook the subtle changes that sometimes appear. But awareness is powerful. Awareness allows action. Awareness creates opportunity. And often, awareness leads to better outcomes. Growing older does not mean ignoring symptoms. It means becoming wiser about them. Listen to your body.
Pay attention to change.
And never underestimate what a breathing symptom may be trying to tell you. If this video has been helpful, subscribe to Agewell Collective, because healthy aging is not about fearing the future. It's about preparing for it wisely. And some of the most important health decisions begin with noticing what others overlook. Most of us rarely think about breathing. It happens quietly, automatically, every minute of every day, every hour of every night, without effort, without thought, without attention, until one day, something changes. Perhaps climbing the stairs feels harder. Perhaps a short walk leaves you unexpectedly winded. Perhaps a cough lingers longer than it should. And because these changes often happen gradually, many seniors assume they're simply part of getting older. But sometimes, breathing changes are not simply signs of aging. Sometimes they are warnings. Warnings that your lungs, your heart, or even your entire body may need attention. Today, we're exploring 10 breathing warning signs seniors should never ignore. Not to create fear, but to help you recognize what your body may be trying to tell you. Because sometimes, the difference between early treatment and delayed treatment begins with recognizing a symptom that seems small. And some of these warning signs appear long before a major health event occurs. Let's begin with one of the most common warning signs: shortness of breath. Now, becoming winded after intense activity is normal. But becoming breathless while performing ordinary tasks is different. Walking across a room, making the bed, getting dressed, climbing a few stairs. These activities should not suddenly leave you struggling for air. Persistent shortness of breath can sometimes be associated with heart disease, lung disease, anemia, or other medical conditions. And because it often develops gradually, many people adapt without realizing how much their breathing has changed. Some people notice breathing becomes harder at night, especially while lying flat. They find themselves stacking pillows, sleeping upright, or waking up feeling unable to get enough air. This symptom deserves attention because it can sometimes signal issues involving the heart or lungs. Your body should not require a special position simply to breathe comfortably. A cough that lingers for weeks should never be ignored, especially when there is no obvious explanation. Many things can cause chronic coughing: allergies, medication side effects, lung conditions, infections, heart-related issues. The important point is this: a persistent cough is information, and information deserves investigation. Wheezing is the high-pitched sound that sometimes occurs when air moves through narrowed airways. Some people hear it, others don't.
It may sound like
whistling, squeaking, or subtle musical tones while breathing. Wheezing is never something to simply dismiss. It often indicates that airflow is being restricted, and identifying why that restriction exists is important. Chest tightness can feel different for different people. Pressure, constriction, heaviness, or a feeling that breathing requires more effort than usual. Because chest symptoms can involve both heart and lung conditions, they deserve prompt medical attention, especially if they appear suddenly. If respiratory infections seem to happen repeatedly, your body may be signaling something important. Frequent infections can sometimes indicate underlying conditions affecting the lungs, the immune system, or overall health. The question isn't simply, why am I getting sick? The question is, why does it keep happening? This warning sign deserves special attention. A bluish or gray tint around the lips or fingertips may indicate that oxygen levels are not where they should be. This symptom should never be ignored, because oxygen is essential for every organ in the body. When oxygen delivery is compromised, the body often sends visible signals. Breathing difficulties and swelling sometimes appear together. This combination may indicate issues involving circulation or heart function. Many people assume swollen ankles are simply part of aging. But when swelling occurs alongside breathing changes, it deserves evaluation. Breathing and energy are deeply connected. When oxygen delivery becomes less efficient, fatigue often follows. Some people describe it as having no energy, feeling drained, or becoming exhausted unusually quickly. The body works harder, and you feel the difference. Perhaps the most important warning sign of all is sudden change, a symptom that appears quickly, unexpectedly, without explanation, because abrupt breathing changes can sometimes signal urgent medical conditions. Any sudden difficulty breathing deserves prompt medical attention. Do not wait. Do not assume. Do not guess. Seek help immediately. Every breath matters. Every moment. Every day. Breathing is one of the body's most remarkable gifts. And because it happens automatically, it's easy to overlook the subtle changes that sometimes appear. But awareness is powerful. Awareness allows action. Awareness creates opportunity. And often, awareness leads to better outcomes. Growing older does not mean ignoring symptoms. It means becoming wiser about them. Listen to your body.
Pay attention to change.
And never underestimate what a breathing symptom may be trying to tell you. If this video has been helpful, subscribe to Agewell Collective, because healthy aging is not about fearing the future. It's about preparing for it wisely. And some of the most important health decisions begin with noticing what others overlook.